Hello and welcome to my weekly, at this point, Emergent Games Tech prototype. This is 0.5, which I made for the 6th sprint, or 7th sprint I think. Um, and yeah, we've gotten this new prototype to a phase where we can test it. Of course by we I mean I. I've had 3 different people play through this prototype so far, and until I make any changes I think that'll probably remain the case. Um, so what have we done? Um, well, last week I talked about having to finish re-implementing everything from the other prototype and fix the some of the combat stuff up. And as you'll see here, we've kind of done that.
Front courtyard.
So
You
if I
stand
let
in
this talk,
front of a large castle. Your target is inside. In the north, there is a path that leads closer to the castle.
so I've decided to make the room descriptions a lot shorter. Um, they were really long, and the text to speech I don't want it to be doing too much because it seems to cause some lag, some audio glitches, and it doesn't pronounce all the words properly. I've implemented this like blind screen again, so the whole game is completely black. You press insert to remove that for debug reasons, but the player won't ever know that. So what is around me right now? I've got a big circle and a big box. Those are both related to combat. Like before, left analog sticks move, right is rotate, and then right trigger is the attack. I've called it shoot in the import action event, but it currently makes the same sword sound. So here's a wall. You can't walk through this wall. Obviously, if you're blind, you don't know that you're going to be walking into the wall. So there's a very goofy sound effect when you do. Um, just so you know that you can't go that way. This sound effect is a placeholder. It's really messy. It's audibly quite busy, and you don't really want that in that sound space, especially if there's other stuff going on. So I'm going to replace it with one that's a lot simpler. But for now, proof of concept, it works. Um, this door or this wall definitely looks like there's a wall here, but there isn't. Doesn't really matter.
Center
You
court
can't see it
gate.
in game.
A closed gate lies to the north, seemingly cnotrolled by a contraption in the tower to the west.
This is another issue that I've found where this word specifically, controlled, he or he, the text to speech reads as individual letters instead of the actual word as a whole, which is very weird. Um, so I said the north is locked and the west is open, and there's probably contraption in here. So if we go to the west, combat starts. This combat is quite fast. When there are enemies in the outer circle, you can hear a heartbeat.
Combat over.
West gate tower. After the fight, you find the contraption that controls the gate and turn it until it stops. The center court gate should be open.
Very good. So yes, the heartbeat plays in the circle around the player. Uh, Currently there is some form of attenuation on it, but it's not perfect. I really want to make it like only play in the left ear or the right ear. So I might be going to slightly more of an extreme for that because the heartbeat isn't super obvious where like telling the player, okay, which direction is this enemy in? Where do I have to turn? So it makes turning in combat quite confusing. One thing I haven't re-implemented yet is a HP system. Um, this is probably good because if there was one, then in testing, I don't think anyone would have gotten past this fight. And to be fair, it was still quite a challenge because knowing where the enemies are is quite tricky. However, one thing that definitely did help is in front of the player there's a box. This box essentially signifies when you attack, where are you hitting? What's the area of effect of your damage? And one cool thing about this box is if there is any amount of enemies in the box, it will give you some haptic feedback on the controller. So you know, oh, it's shaking, I'm going to swing. Which sadly I can't really show off in the video, but it does work, and it was quite positively received. So the problems with this current prototype at the moment is just, while it does technically function, there's a lot of information that you wouldn't think is important, or not like the most important information that actually is. Um, some things like, is the player moving? If I press insert and turn the screen on, I'm moving right now, but you wouldn't be able to guess that. Um, Even though I'm pressing the analog stick, I don't know for a fact that I'm moving, even though I'm pressing the move input, because I can't see it. There's no proof that that's happening. So I want to add some footstep sounds. In fact, I've already started on that, and I figured, well, before I go too far on acting on the feedback, I should probably record a video of this version. Um, but they're going to be very simple. Go away, error. I've decided to delve into meta sounds just to keep it very simple. But essentially, I've got an array of 7 different footstep sounds. It gets a random wave asset from this array and it plays it. It's a mono sound, so it'll just play like a 2D sound would or a UI sound, and that should be pretty good. I just need to set it up. I think I'm going to set it up on the animation blueprint or whatever you call it. I know it's quite a complicated way to set it up considering you can't see the animations, but it's reliable and it's guaranteed to work. So I think that's probably the best way to do that. Other than that, when I entered this third room here, not this, no, it was this room, um, it is not obvious at all what is going on. How do you know that there's combat outside of the description in the room previously telling you that there might be some things or some enemies in the room? So very simply, I want to add combat music, just so, oh, there's some tense music. I know something's going on here. Um, I might add some sound effects for the enemies themselves as well. Um, what I think the problem is at the moment is when I use nodes like play at location, even if that sound has um, really good attenuation, because the camera is so far in the air, it doesn't really pick up on that, and everything just sounds like it's a very flat audio space, which won't do. Um, I might be able to possibly fix that by just playing every sound that requires some form of attenuation, uh, plus however many hundred units it is in the air instead of where the thing actually is. Because it technically is in a 2D space, pulling it upwards wouldn't affect anything realistically. Other than that, those are my only current plans at the moment. Just adding sound to infer that extra information. I'm going to write up my retrospective shortly after this, and I've got high hopes that this will be a very functional prototype by the end of hopefully this next week, because time is short. Uh, but overall, I'm feeling pretty positive. So fingers crossed. Thank you for watching.